If we look together in the chart of space, we IPO'd with $10. We went skyrocket high to $37, went down back to $10, $11 per share, and then went up recently to 25 and now back to 17. It's still 70% more than the IPO price, and if you consider and look me very deep in the eye, you know that this is the hardest industry that is out there. Only billionaires are having the balls to make something out there in space. But if we are successful with Virgin Galactic, we will be quite rewarded astronomically. Happy Friday and welcome to Virgin Galactic Fridays. Let's break the record of the most liked Virgin Galactic Fridays episode, which is currently at 800 likes. I liked it already. I like my own videos. Yeah, it's unfortunately that way. But make sure to like this video that we break this record. And I would like to go with you into the blueprint of today's episode. So we will talk about the space performance of the last week. Then we will look into the chart if we see any new trends that we can spot technically in the chart, and then I would like to go with you into the fact that 40% of all millionaires actually would be willing to fly with Virgin Galactic for $250,000. Yes, that's true. That's now a fact, guys, all right? Then we will talk about the conference Humans to Mars, where SPACEX founder Elon Musk joined and said something that is very important for the competition of Virgin Galactic. And finally, I would like to talk with you about space call options, okay? The tool that can multiply the winnings of space stock, but on the other side can be one of the most biggest, unbelievable mass destruction tool for your portfolio. Okay, let's look into the space performance of the last 7 days or the 5 trading days since we recorded our last Virgin Galactic Fridays episode. And as you can see, there's nothing that is going in the one or the other direction. As of this recording, even the pre-market for Friday, for today actually, is minus 1.8%. The overall market is not so friendly, so I think this is also impacting always space stock. But all in all, if you're seeing the 1 month's performance, you see a clear trend that we will look into the stock chart as well. But the 6 months chart showing us a little bit more of the sentiment, okay? So we were at 25 before the March downturn, and then we went to a downturn until about July, where we then went back to $27, which were the recent highs, and then we went back. So as you can see, it's a nice cool roller coaster, and it will continue to be like that until we have some news, some breaking news. And again, those news, you never know when they come, right? You remember when the new CEO was announced, it was coming from nowhere, right? And the stock went so high after the announcement. This was approximately the moves here that the stock did after the announcement, about 40-50% just in a couple of days. So as you can see, you never can time the market, and therefore I'm doing what I always preach on this channel. I'm just keep unloading space stock until I have my perfect position into this company. So I will just continue to buy every month. My average is going down if the stock going further down. So this is obviously very, very positive, because then It don't need that much to go 10x, remember, okay? So if you have an average price of $26, you need the stock to go high as $260 to make 10x. But if your average is 15, then the stock can just go to $150 and you make 10 times your money. So it's obviously good if you're still building your position and the stock is going lower. So as of this recording right now, the stock opens minus 3%, as you can see here, and we are breaking through the $17 mark, okay, which would signal that we will enter a brand new area here, which is the area between $15 and $17. So I will expect over the next couple of days, or it could be expected depending on the overall market, that the stock can now enter into this territory, which could then mean that we will see 15 at the lowest, which would be fantastic for those who want to buy more. And then depending on the news, we will trade into this area if there is no any significant moves for the company, for the news of the company, or the overall market, right? So I'm quite interested if we can stay in this here, because I think the probability that we go lower than 15 is so slim, guys, okay? The company is still, you know, working on one of the hardest problems out there. They are having a huge success so far by having a really nice system that works and can bring people up into space. And now it's the question when we will have the breakout, right? We have seen how things can break out real quick, okay? So 50% moves here in just a matter of days back in July, and then obviously here the big move here with the overall market, but you know, beating so many other stocks. It was the reason when some people said, you know, they were happy that they owning Virgin Galactic stocks because it was beating so many other stocks. And then, you know, we had the downturn with the overall market, then we went into a sideways position until, you know, the recent announcement with the new CEO that gave us a push, and then we went straight down and exited. Also, you know, this other straight downturn channel here, as you can see, right? So this was the upper part of this channel here. So if the stock would turn here and bounce off that and would go lower, this would be a much more narrow decline for the stock, but it actually goes in a kind of bottoming or, you know, sideways position until here. And I think, you know, the areas here around 15, 16, 17 are areas that can be held for a couple of times. So I will be watching this very carefully to see where the bottom is. But, you know, I just keep on buying every month. So, you know, you couldn't make anything wrong when you bought every month. Let's say you bought beginning of June, then beginning of July, then you had a nice increase here, and now you're buying back in August and then back in September. Your average would be pretty low, right? With the opportunity to go as high as the highest in August, as well, you know, even higher like we saw in January or February of this year. So you can do nothing wrong if you just put every month, you know, part of your savings or whatever you want to invest into a stock every month into the stock, because then you have the absolute best price that you can have for a stock and don't have to worry about some technicals or some news. You just keep on adding and adding, and your only challenge should be how to get more money to invest in those high potential stocks that can change the world. Cohen, an investment bank out there in the investing field, is giving SPACE a new price target of $22. That's a huge increase from those numbers, but the more interesting part is they did a very extensive asking questionnaire about if millionaires that have $5 or more million in net wealth, do they would consider to fly on a Virgin Galactic flight for at least $250,000 per ticket, and 40% of them said yes. And this is showing us that it's an unbelievable question, not if we will have demand for this, because there will be huge demand when we are not even starting. Not much people know out there what Virgin Galactic is even doing, right? No much people know it, and this will change once the operation are starting. And then the question will be how we can scale, how we can bring hundreds of people every day to space. The spaceport is huge enough, so it will be the question of new spacecrafts and the scalability on a very safe manner. So I made a huge vlog about that, so if you want to check it out, look for this thumbnail. On Monday, we had a very important conference, Humans to Mars, a conference that Elon Musk attended virtually, and he said a couple of statements which are very important, because everyone thinks SpaceX is a huge competition to Virgin Galactic, but if you're listening to really what he's saying, then you know that they're quite far away from the tourism sector that they want to apply to, okay? So he said that SpaceX is developing its next generation Starship rocket that will, by one mission, bring hundreds of people or 100 of people to Mars or Moon. So if you're considering the Crew Dragon mission costed for the 2 astronauts $60 million, that, you know, some very heavily developments have to be made that they can even offer closely to the ticket price of Virgin Galactic. And this is the beauty about the concept of Virgin Galactic, because it's so cheap to bring the people up into space, and with a super high profit margin, and this is unbeatable until now, okay? Moreover, he said that they will make hundreds of satellite missions before even a human will board this rocket, okay? So rockets are much more complicated, guys, than the Spaceship 2 by Virgin Galactic. Now, the Virgin Galactic Spaceship 2 is basically a very simplified airplane, a gliding airplane with a powered rocket. The most dangerous thing is actually if the powered rocket will not ignite and they would need to land the aircraft with all this fuel inside the engine. So otherwise, we're having a very safe environment, and that's why it's so amazing to fly people in this way to space and come in a very glide way back to Earth in a very safe manner. And this is scalable, guys. This is absolutely insane, and that's why this is something that people don't know if they saying, you know, competition is already there. SpaceX is doing rockets, okay, and Virgin Galactic is doing spaceships. Call options could be something great if they are going into the right direction. They can multiply the movement of the stock going up, but there's a big but, because you need to determine if the stock goes up or down. You have to understand and guess how much it goes up, right? You need to have the right strike price. And finally, you need to also know when. So as you can see, 95 or 98% of the time you will be wrong, and therefore I'm not a big fan of call options. Now, there was the recent big call opportunity that professionals called on CNBC. Have a look.
Welcome back. I mentioned to you, John has unusual activity today in a couple of names. There's the first one. John, tell us about it, as Virgin Galactic is up nearly 6% now.
Yeah, on the launching pad, as you would say, I guess, Scott, or at least as I would say. SPCE calls, big-time buyers of the August 1950 calls with the stock at about 1870, Scott. I bought those. They expire a week from tomorrow, so keep that in mind. I'll probably hold these about 5 days.
And actually, if you're looking into the chart of August for space, this stock didn't went to 1950, okay? So the problem is that so many people bought calls option, and people thought, you know, if there so many people are buying the call options with the strike price of 1950 until the end of the week or within the 7 days, there is something in the bushes, but actually there wasn't anything. So people lost a lot of money, and you have to be very careful, guys. especially this kind of things that will be promoted on TV or whatsoever. Just because the people are on a financial TV station doesn't mean that they are always right or the master of the stock market or will make you a lot of money. Because think about it, if they would make so much money, why they would need to come on TV and work there? They would be, you know, somewhere else or don't have to share the best tips to make money. So think about it and stay away from call options. Make sure to first invest and build up a huge position in the real stocks.